Tennessee's biggest loss and biggest win in 2023 will be against who?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't predict games this far out, but the biggest loss potential would be, I think, Florida.
Yeah,
because I think you lose that, and then it's just kind of like the same old Tennessee, where it's like, maybe they're not here to stay. Because I'm telling you, I don't think Florida's not. I don't think Billy Napier's a disaster or anything. I always hate when people say, what do they call him? Sunshine Billy or Sunbelt Billy or whatever. Like, that's the stupidest damn thing. I hate when people. I mean, I get why people, they just hate Florida, so you're gonna make up a nickname for somebody. But Nick Saban, where did he start out? He started out at Kent State. Josh Heupel, where did he start out as head coach? Central Florida. I mean, that's normal for a coach to go at a lower level and come up, but that's neither here nor there. If Tennessee can't beat this Florida team, they're not going to have a good year. So I think that would be their biggest disappointing. And just getting that swamp monkey off your back, so to speak, I think would be huge for Josh Heupel. I mean, he is certainly changing the narrative quickly at Tennessee, but that would be a significant step back. So that would be a big loss, and potentially the biggest win. I think you have to go back-to-back national champions, Georgia, at home. I'm not sitting here predicting the game. I'm not foolish enough to pick against Georgia. If I do that, by God, I got to hear about it for 6 months. But I think that's the opportunity for Tennessee to get a signature win under Josh Heupel, and they may be the only team that could beat Georgia in the regular season.
I think it's going to be a dogfight, pardon the pun there, but I'll be in the building. I was in it for 2 years ago in Tennessee. I remember I made the bet with folks that I was like, Tennessee will absolutely be up on Georgia after the first quarter. Like, there's no question they're going to be up on Georgia. And they were up after the first quarter. Hey, raise the banner. But I think there is a slight setback with that offense. I think you're going to see just how good Stetson was for Georgia going to Carson Beck or Gunnar Stockton or whoever. There's going to be a learning curve there. I think there's a slight step back. The defense is not going to be what it was in 2020 when they came to Knoxville, the best defense maybe we've ever seen in college football. I think it's going to be pretty close. My gut tells me Tennessee is going to be like 7. I think it opened already at like 7.5. Like Tennessee, Georgia opened in March at 7.5. So I think it's going to be, my gut tells me that will be not a coin flip, but like Tennessee will have an outside shot. And I agree with you too on Florida. I think that's one, if you drop that early, the whole, like everything with Joe Milton gets a lot more shaky, because if they drop that game, that means Joe Milton wasn't good. And if Joe Milton's not good there, then you're like, uh-oh. And then if you're struggling at home against UTSA, because UTSA is a really, really good G5 team that's going to come into Knoxville and they're going to score. And if it's rough and Joe Milton isn't able to keep up with Harris, the quarterback for UTSA, Knoxville fans, how they are. And there is a Nico Iamaleava sitting behind him. And it's easy to chant inside Neyland Stadium? Nico. Nico is going to be loud, and it's just going to be unlike anything Joe Milton could ever anticipate, because until you get in there, like I've been in there when they're chanting for Harrison Bailey over Jarrett Garantano years ago. Nico's easy. Nico's the biggest recruit since Peyton Manning. Like you can't prepare for that in spring ball. You can't prepare for that in summer ball. So when everyone's like, it's Joe Milton's job, I'm like, that's great. Joe Milton can say he's ready. Like, I hope it happens. Like, it's better for Tennessee football if Joe Milton's awesome and a Heisman guy this year. Like, that's the best case scenario for Tennessee football. I'm just saying, Tennessee fans with 100,000 plus have already seen the worst of Joe Milton. They've seen him run out of bounds when the game was on the line against Ole Miss. They've seen him overthrow dude after dude. They all want him to succeed, but there is still this trepidation around everywhere here in Knoxville about this being sustainable for 12 to 13 games. And when you have a 5-star kid where they're like, if we're going to play like this, just put in the 5-star. Just put him in and let him get his reps. I hope that's not what happens, but Tennessee fans, and my gut tells me that it's going to be rocky all season long.
Most chantable name since Jim Bob Cooter. They love chanting for that guy, even though, I don't know he ever saw the field at any meaningful action.
Final question. Very quick. LSU should be considered the favorite to win the national title in 2023. True or false? I have true here.
The favorite? No, false.
Okay, who do you have as the favorite?
Georgia.
Do you? 3-peat?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're going to even get tested in the regular season. So unless we'll see how many more speeding violations they get down there. But I mean, and Kirby doesn't even suspend anybody.